From a very young age, I always felt that Kiara had this exuberant energy of hers.
Kiara was in a lot of activities. We'd put her into tumbling gymnastics. She was in swimming lessons. She'd been playing soccer since she was 4 years old. But I noticed that sometimes she would tire out. And we thought, well, maybe she just needs to do more of it. So we put her in as much as we could. My 2 older girls were in the same swimming lesson together. And I was with my littler one, and we were waiting for our turn, which was next.
That day, we were just kind of doing laps and just kind of like starting. It was just the very beginning. And I'm a pretty competitive person, so I decided I wanted to be the first one finished. And so I was swimming as fast as I possibly could. And then all of a sudden, my vision gets very like tunnel vision. I blacked out.
And all of a sudden, my second daughter ran to the car, and she's like, "Mom, hurry up. Something happened to Kiara. You have to come." I remember wanting to go in the ambulance, but knowing that I couldn't go in the ambulance because I had my other 2 daughters. It was just panic. Like, we need to get there now. They referred us to a pediatric cardiologist who ordered a bunch of tests. And she said, you should get an AED. Your family should brush up on your CPR skills. And you need to go to Children's. They'll call you for an appointment. And so then I thought, okay, this might be serious.
We have all seen the stories that capture our attention in the news when a young person, seemingly healthy, suddenly collapses or passing away suddenly. I met Kiara a few years ago. She came to us with what seemed a fairly common symptom, fainting, but a small fraction of those people that faint, that faint is actually a warning sign for something much more serious. And it can be a very minor abnormality, but it's enough to disturb the whole balance of the heart's electrical system. And so these children can go into life-threatening heart rhythms during very ordinary activities. The electrical flow through the heart is off just by thousandths of a second. So that's how narrow the margin is between health and disease. With some tests here, we were able to diagnose her with a very rare form of an inherited heart rhythm condition called CPVT, or catecholaminergic polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. CPVT is one of the most lethal conditions that we look after here on this campus.
And it's not something you see in 11-year-olds. You know, in kids, you don't see cardiac arrest in kids. It's not something that I would even think I'd have to worry about.
It was definitely a complete shock, you know, from my perspective of how could that possibly be?
It felt like my heart condition was a burden, and it felt like I was never gonna get over it, and that it was something that might ruin my life.
The way that we understood it and the way that we tried to explain it to Kiara was kind of like an allergy, you know, because everyone understands that sometimes allergies can be life-threatening. And so we had to say, well, you're kind of allergic to the adrenaline that your heart makes.
So one of the treatments that we use is to blunt the stress response, to blunt adrenaline. And we do this with a medication that is not very specific to the heart. It's targeting the whole body. That, of course, has side effects, and the side effects are quite profound. We're
living with fear, but as normally as we can, because her heart potentially is like a ticking time bomb.
We're very excited at BC Children's Hospital and Research Institute to have recently opened the Cellular and Regenerative Medicine Center. The CRMC is made possible through our partnership with the Mining for Miracles community. This work is the culmination of many years of background work, developing a stem cell program, working with our donors, working with the foundation, and the scientists and clinicians here on site to develop a state-of-the-art, unique to Western Canada center.
The work that we're doing today allows us to take a small blood sample from patients and convert them into stem cells. Now, stem cells have the ability to become any cell in the body. We convert them into heart cells, and we can make tissues of beating heart cells from that patient. And now we can study that disease of that patient, that heart, and how it responds to these different interventions.
One of the most rewarding parts of my job is when I sit with a family and I can offer them more than just the usual treatment. And the advantage of trying these molecules in a dish is that you can do many, many experiments in a laboratory setting, not on the person that's, all the while trying to go to school, keep playing on the soccer team.
We are focusing obviously on arrhythmias and cardiomyopathies, but the applications of this technology are manifold, treating diabetes, neurodegenerative disorders, kidney failure. So the outcome of this work is really transformative.
Our program is very focused on the quality of the child's life, to have life be as normal as possible, as long as possible, as healthy and as vibrant as possible.
To me, that was a major awakening. Like that was my, the realization that, okay, there's still hope that she can have a beautiful life, an enjoyable life, right? She can't limit herself.
So this is our AED, and it's an automated external defibrillator. And we've taught all of our kids to use it, even the 7-year-old. This is our insurance almost.
To know that we are working on making it better for these families who really, they have placed their entire trust in us. That's the essence of what one does at a children's hospital like this. It's taking that trust and the relationship and carrying the burden and collaboratively coming to a better place. The work that we are starting here is going to change the lives of children like Kiara and other children just like Kiara all over the province.
We just wanted to say a big thank you and express our extreme gratitude to Mining for Miracles for all of your support and donation for helping children like Kiara.
All these donations, all these people that are still carrying on, making all these efforts, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You make us feel not alone because
Yes.
you care. You don't even know us.